Hello, and welcome to part 3 of the Hockey Basics series. Today we're going to talk about offside and icing, two of the most common rules that hang up new fans. They're also two of the biggest roles the linespersons play when they're officiating the game. I'm Mario Black, and I hope to give you a basic definition of these rules, some exceptions to these rules, and basically try to give you a baseline understanding of them. As I've said before, watching games is the best way to learn, but I hope this gives you a good foundation to work with. I've got a few clips in here to hopefully help you out as well, so let's get to it. Alright, let's start with offside. I've got some definitions and examples in the next few slides, so hopefully this will help you out. A puck must precede any player into the attacking zone. This way players don't hang out next to the opposing net and take a pass from across the rink to get an instant attack opportunity. With this rule, there becomes a whole set of strategies around zone entry. The next two sub-bullets hit on what it takes for a player to be offside. A player must fully cross the blue line before the puck in order for it to qualify as offside. A player can be almost all the way into the zone, but if they still have a skate on or behind the blue line, they're good to go. The skates can be above the blue line. The blue line acts as a plane that goes all the way up, and they'll be onside that way, but other body parts don't count for this. It's just the skate. So if both skates are offside and like the hip or the arm is over the neutral zone line, the play is offside anyway. The skates are kind of the determining factor here. The puck also goes by the same logic. The puck is not considered in the attacking zone until it fully crosses the blue line. So if it's still touching blue, then it hasn't entered the zone yet and it's still considered in the neutral zone. This is true for airborne pucks as well, which is why the linespersons will stand on the blue line so they can get a better read on if the airborne puck crosses the line before or after the player does. The offside infraction leads to a face-off in the neutral zone or the defensive zone of that team that committed the infraction. It's based on where the play originated from. If a player skated in and another player was offside, the face-off is at one of the dots near the attacking blue line, which is the same blue line where the offside occurred. A majority of offside plays lead to face-offs at these two dots. If a puck was passed and the player retrieved the pass, was offside when they retrieved it, the face-off goes back to the nearest dot where the pass started from. These are less common, but it's why face-offs won't always be from the attacking blue line. So if a player passes it all the way down the ice from their defensive zone and a player retrieves it and they're offside when they retrieve it, then the face-off goes all the way back to the defensive zone to the dot nearest where that pass originated from. If a team is onside when the puck enters, the play will remain onside until the puck fully leaves the zone, which means the puck has to fully cross the blue line into the neutral zone. You see this often with defenders trying to hold the play in the zone by getting the puck before it crosses the line. If the puck does leave the zone, then the entire attacking team must exit the zone, and then the puck can be moved back in once all the teammates from the attacking team get back into the neutral zone. You may have noticed that when entering the zone, the puck must fully cross the blue line for it to be onside, and when leaving the zone, the puck must fully cross the blue line for the team to have to retreat and reset the play. The blue line itself is in both zones. It's part of the neutral zone when the play is in the neutral zone, and it's part of the attacking zone when the play is in the attacking zone. A couple of additional offsides rules to know about are delayed and intentional offside, and I'll break them down here. If a puck is shot into the attacking zone while an attacking player is offside, it's called a delayed offside situation. The linesperson will usually have their arm up and yell at the players that they're offside, but play will continue. Play continues unless an offside player touches the puck or becomes involved with the play. The players are required to get back to the neutral zone whenever there's a delayed offside situation. If all the players on the attacking team exit the attacking zone and are all out of it at the same time, then the linesperson will drop their arm and the team is now able to enter the zone and be onside. This is often called tagging up at the blue line. It is important to note that the entire attacking team has to be out of the zone before they can re-enter. If a player enters the attacking zone before an offside teammate exits that zone, then the play is offside. All players must be out of the zone at the same time before they can re-enter. Intentional offside is when a player deliberately stops play by committing an offside infraction. The linesperson will use their discretion on intentional offside calls. They often give the benefit of the doubt on this, but if someone makes it pretty obvious that they're playing a puck to get a stoppage in play, then you'll often see a linesperson call intentional offside. For intentional offside offenses, the faceoff will go back into the defensive zone for the team that committed that offense. All right, here's my first diagram. Team A in this case is the only one that's on the ice. Player 1 and 2 are teammates in this situation. Player 1 is a player with the puck that has the puck. They're in purple, and they're attacking from left to right. So player 1 is moving up the ice, and you can see here player 2 is fully across the blue line. So if player 1 crosses the blue line while player 2 is in the position they are now, then the play would be offside. It would take player 2 to get back with part of their body onside, like you'll see in this next image. You can see here player 2 has part of their body onside. So now player 1 can enter the zone without there being an infraction at all. All right, and now for the first ever video example. Here's the pretty classic offside. I'm going to play the video just to kind of show you what's going on here. So Montreal is the team in white. They're taking it up the ice. Ottawa is the defending team, and they call offside there. I'll play it again. Montreal is taking the puck up the ice, and the player will bobble the puck, and you'll see two teammates end up going offside. You can see on the freeze frame next to the puck, the linesperson has their arm out in a straight line to signify that offside has been called. That's usually what you see when the offside is called. That's the signal for it. So here's an image, just a snapshot. You can see where the puck is right now. It's on the blue line. It's not fully over the blue line yet, so it hasn't entered the attacking zone. And if you look down here, these two players, they're fully across the blue line. So once that puck crosses into the attacking zone, then they whistle it down for offside because those players have preceded the puck into the attacking zone. This is what a lot of offsides look like, play that, players will enter the zone a little too quick, mistime it, or in this case, the puck was bobbled a bit, so it kind of threw off the timing of everything. Offside has two major exceptions. A player possessing the puck can be offside as long as they maintain that possession of the puck all the way into the zone. So they can come back into the zone, basically back their way into the zone, as long as the puck is in possession on their stick and no other players are offside. The second one is when the defensive team plays the puck into their own zone while an attacking player is offside. Instead of a delayed offside, the offside is wiped out in this case. So if a player from Team A is in the zone and Team B makes a pass from a player in the neutral zone to a player in Team B's defensive zone, which is in this case also Team A's attacking zone, then that player that would have been offside is now considered onside because Team B played the puck into their own zone. This goes for any deliberate action that causes the puck to go back in the zone. Any action like a deflection off a player or an act where the player never possesses the puck and it ends up deflecting back into the defensive zone is still considered offside. However, if a player makes a pass and the puck misses its target and goes backwards into their own defensive zone, then the play will be onside and the offside will be wiped out. So that pass was a deliberate action, and even though the end result was not what they wanted and, another teammate missed the pass, which caused the puck to go backwards, the play is still considered onside because they made a deliberate pass backwards. And moving on to the other fun rule, which is icing. Like offside, this is something you'll see pretty much every game. There's a bit more nuance to this, so hopefully this will be a good understanding for all of you. I think there's a lot more judgment call with this in regards to how the lines people call icing compared to offside, which I think is a little bit more black and white. Icing occurs when you shoot the puck from your half of the ice, so behind behind the center red line, all the way down and across the other team's goal line, and your team is not the first to be able to retrieve the puck that you shot down the ice. The puck does have to cross the goal line for it to be icing. If it comes up short, it is not icing. To nail down this rule a bit more, I'll add what triggers the call. If the team that shot the puck all the way down the ice gets to the area is considered the face-off dot, so level with the face-off dots, on the ice, then they wipe off the icing and play will go on. If the opposing team gets to that same spot on the ice first, then it is icing. There is discretion for where the puck is and which team would be able to play the puck first. So if you win the race and you're all the way on the other side of the rink from where the puck is, the lines person will likely say you're not making a play on the puck, and they won't count that action whether they're calling icing or not icing, and they'll just go the other direction on that. When you ice the puck, the reprimand you face basically is that you're forced to defend a face-off in your defensive zone. The team that commits the icing offense can also not change their personnel on the ice, which leads to situations where if the same players have been on the ice for a while and they've been defending play, they have to still remain on the ice while they're tired after the next face-off. The other team gets to choose which face-off dot in the attacking zone they wish the face-off to be held at as well. While not as punishing as taking a penalty, icing does have pretty severe consequences. I've seen it quite often where a team commits an icing infraction because they're tired and the other team scores a goal off the next face-off when there's a bunch of tired opponents on the ice. Even a little mistake like an errant pass that misses a teammate and becomes icing, can lead to that face-off coming down and the team scoring off a face-off play in the next sequence. It's not quite the same as being shorthanded where you're basically defending for 2 minutes down a player, but it can still be costly. There's no break between icing and the next face-off beyond the time it takes to get everyone set up and to drop the puck. Teams are allowed to use their one timeout. You may see this near the end of a game if a team has tired players on and wants to give them a break after an icing. However, as with normal run of play, you cannot substitute players out even during a timeout, and each team only gets one timeout, so you're only able to do this once. All right, here's a diagram of icing. I hope this helps a bit. Just so you know, Team A is still attacking left to right. I have two Team A players here, 1 and 2, and with the purple fill, and the red outline player is the player for Team B who's defending that side of the ice. So the arrow designates player 1 shooting the puck all the way down the ice. The puck goes across the goal line, and now it's a race between player 1 and 2. They have to get to about this point on the ice, the face-off dots. Whoever gets there first, as long as they're attempting to make a play on the puck, will win the race. If it's player 1 for Team B in that red outline, it'll be icing, and the face-off will come all the way back down behind where player 1 is in Team A's defensive zone. If player 2 on Team A wins the race, then it's no icing and play goes on as normal. But that green line I kind of put on there is basically the line where they determine if they're going to blow the whistle for icing or not based on who wins the race. All right, here's an example of an icing. It's a classic example. So in this case, Toronto is in blue, Boston is in white. Toronto's going to shoot it all the way down. Here, I'll play the video once. So you can see the pass will come across, and this player will shoot the puck all the way down the ice. It will not touch anybody. And then the player on the white team, Boston, will be the first one to the kind of that line I showed you on the previous slide, those face-off dots. It's pretty close, but the Boston player is closer to where the puck is when they cross the line, so it's an icing call. I'll play the video again just so you can see it again. So the puck will wind around, and then this player right here will shoot it all the way down without it being touched, and then the referee will call icing, and the next face-off will come all the way back to the other zone. You can see in the upper left corner, the referee has a single arm up. This is the signal they do when they signal icing as they're blowing the whistle, and they'll retrieve the puck, move it down. So in this case, the Toronto players cannot substitute off. The players that are on the ice at this time must stay on the ice. All right, here's an example of icing being wiped out because the attacking team was the first one to get to that face-off dot area. So for context, Minnesota's in purple, Toronto's in white. I'll replay this a couple times and point out a few little things. But pretty quick, Minnesota's going to dump the puck down, and you'll see that player in purple zoom through. They get to the face-off dot line first, and play continues as icing is wiped out. So let's play it again. You'll see player dump it down, and the player in purple, clearly the first one, she's making a play toward the puck, so icing gets wiped out, play moves on. You can see her pass it back to her teammate, number 13 there. And the third time I play this, I want you to look for the lines person. They'll be in the upper left hand part of the screen as the puck enters the attacking zone. But they'll put both their arms out to wipe out the icing and basically wave it off, as it's often called. So I'll play it again here. Puck's being dumped down. And now the lines person's come into frame, and now you can see their arms go out, and icing is waved off. Play continues. So that'll be it for this video. Next week, I'm going to start on some of the penalties. The penalties will probably be broken out over multiple weeks. I'm not sure how many weeks it'll be broken out over. It depends on how long it takes me to talk about specific penalties, but I'll go over some of the most common ones. I think at this point I got clips for almost all of them. Hopefully I can get a few more as examples. But thank you very much for watching. Let me know how this was. Hopefully the video clips provided a pretty good example on, these offside and icing infractions, and kind of gave some idea, just the real-time look. It's hard to show these off in just diagrams and explaining them via definition. So it's always good to have video examples. And like I said, I recommend watching the games, thinking about these sort of things while you're watching the game, so you get a good idea of like, oh, the lines person's waving off an icing here. That's because of this or that. Or, oh, that's offside because of this or that. So hopefully this was a help. Let me know in the comments if it was. If you have any ideas, suggestions, anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments as well. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you wish, and I hope everyone has a great day.